Got it.
Got it. It is now streaming live on Facebook. That's what it says.
Wonderful. Yay.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Chantal, and this is Melissa.
Me. Hello.
She's moving.
You going to launch us off, lady?
Yeah, today we want to talk about movement and breath. I mean, that's my take on it. Energy flows where attention goes, and I want to debunk something that I actually adopted as a philosophy many years ago. In the world of exercise, you must have heard that no pain, no gain is one principle. Push hard, do more, blah blah blah. Right? I'm not on that frame of mind. So that's where I'm coming from. So today we'll talk about the pleasure of moving as a grounding practice in the body, as something that brings life into your body, in your mind, in your heart, joy, and all of that. That's my stand on it. How about you, Melissa?
Yeah, I think where I would like to start out is kind of where you started off. So we are energy beings. And contrary to what a lot of us do, we're energy beings that actually at the highest level, we want to be conservative of our precious energy. So a lot of our traditional ways of addressing movement are super duper duper intense. And part of the reason why we push that level of intensity is because we have so much stress and actually contraction of our bodies. When you think about what most people are doing at work, it's like whether we think of that at a physical level and also at an emotional, spiritual level, like when I'm in my workspace, I can't be myself, and that sucks, and that's stressful, and that's contracting. So it's almost like we've had to meet that intensity with an equal force. The problem we get into as energy beings is, especially in the situation of breast cancer, where our body is in an energetic state of scarcity, if we're pushing in that traditional way and our energy is low, we can actually deplete ourselves even further and open ourselves to issues and injuries. So that's where we get into the place, well, okay, then what do? I need to do something to help that energy to move, something that's more conservative, but also has the potential power to be able to help me with shifting that intensity that might be there.
Yes, it's all about balance. And many years ago, I read a book from Dr. John Douillard. He's doing Ayurvedic medicine. And he wrote a book on the sports and energy, the 4 doshas. I can't remember what it was, but basically that was one of the seeds that got planted for me, that every body type does not necessarily respond to the same type of movement. And how do you know? You don't have to go take the test and know what your dosha is. You just simply have to follow what feels right. Now, this is tricky because there is what feels right in here, concept of the mind, and what feels right in the body. And I want to focus on that because up here is a concept. We have these images and we're bombarded with images of what I should look like, what my body tone should be like, my body fat content, whatever the heck you're tuned into. It's all in the mind, and none of it is connecting to prana, which means life force. Life force is what enlivened us through breath. So any movement, it could be anything you enjoy. Key number 1, enjoy. Breathe, number 2. Breathe meaning you are able to take in more air and you're able to release it. And then you ground yourself. You get grounded. This physical body is a gift. It is the vehicle through which your soul is here to manifest its purpose, its destiny. Wouldn't you want to honor it? Be kind, gentle, respectful. That's what movement is about. So I am a big proponent of nature. There's nothing for me that beats a walk outside in nature. How about you, Melissa?
Yes, absolutely. There's so much to that. I mean, you have to realize, especially as a mother of young kids, it's like we go outside and it's like the energy absolutely goes from a place of intensity to more expansion.
Yeah.
We tune in, we feel that within ourselves. So you have that, which you know exists, whether you understand it or not. And then you have the beauty and the wisdom that nature's reflecting back to you. So it's like double healing. So yes, and again, it's like, to go back to what you're speaking of, I'm not saying you plug in your headphones and you're off, it's like really making this intentional, that you're choosing to connect you, an energy being, with the energy of your surroundings and nature. So you get like exponential benefit when you allow yourself to do that. This season is so perfect right now. I'm not sure what it's like where you're at in Maine, but we still have a lot of hangers on our, we have a really expanded fall happening.
Mhm.
So witnessing like what trees have dropped their leaves, what wisdom is there in that, which ones are still holding on and showing us that beautiful natural transition of drawing in and letting go, and what might that mean for me. So there's so much we can open to through nature.
Right. So I'm glad you brought in the no headset thing and no disconnect, because I have seen people for 12 years. I had a business, a mind body center, where we offered classes. We offered dance classes, fitness classes, yoga classes, Qigong classes, name it. We had it all. We also had a school for kids, school of dance and movement for kids. And the people that I would see coming in, mostly women, unfortunately, who were driven, I have to do this in order to do that, they would get injured. And I could literally say within 2 visits, this one is going to come back and tell me that they have a rotator cuff issue, they have a low back issue, they have a hip issue, because they were not mind body connecting. They were mind over matter. And that's defeating. I mean, I've seen women give up movement because it hurt. So I was guilty of that many years ago. I was pushing really hard for yoga practices that were super intense, and I heard everything, shoulder, back, hip, name it, I got it. And then I went back to a practice that was about alignment, physical and energetic. And then my body came back. Pain was gone, and I got really strong, which is what I wanted. And I didn't have to push through the way I was pushing through before. So I invite you to dig, we both invite you to dig into that place where you may have to try a few things and feel your way through them, and keep your body, your body and your mind and your heart connected. You practice Qigong, right, Melissa?
I do, and I'm gonna be posting on Friday lots of juicy stuff on that in a little more detail. But in general, the concept of Qigong kind of goes to two of the things you were speaking of, or what you were speaking of, what I was talking about at the beginning is energy, right? So if there's something that we're trying to heal or shift that's pretty intense or very stuck, how are we going to bring in the energy to be able to do that? So Qigong is a form of Chinese energy exercise that is based upon our energy grid. So I forget what it was a few weeks ago, or maybe last week, I was speaking of the meridian system. So it's about these gentle stretches that may feel like you're doing nothing, but you're opening up the flow of energy at that very deep level. So, I mean, I've had people that are really advanced athletes who come to practice Qigong, and it's like, what? Because it's different kinds of strength. So that's to speak to another thing that you were talking about. We're going to like a deep level of energy foundation strength that becomes reflected in our ligaments and our tendons. Can I go and just run out of my house and run a marathon right now? No, but I can climb a mountain, like rock climb. I did that a couple summers ago, and my kids were like, you can't do that. I'm like, just because I haven't done it doesn't mean I can't, because I have strength in a different way that you don't see me going like this, but I have different kinds of strength that come from my energy foundation. And because I'm doing it in a more conservative way, it's helping me with deep healing and helping me to shift those big, intense emotions such as stress. So very super powerful. And again, I'll give a little more deep dive into that on Friday through both my post and my live.
So on November 17, which is next week on Wednesday, 11 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. We invite you to join us. We already have people who have registered. Very exciting. Thank you. And we invite you to join us into an inquiry. And the inquiry is breast care is self-care. No matter where you are in the process, either you're wanting to prevent or you're wanting to, be more proactive in your general overall health. I mean, breast care is self-care, body care is self-care. It is connected. And that's why when we talk about movement today, we talk about loving yourself through movement, about respect for your body, about not necessarily, I don't want to say gentleness as in coddling. I really mean gentleness as in respectful for the system that you live in, something that will give you energy, not deplete you, which is what Melissa was talking about. So on November 17, you're going to have little segments where we're going to talk about nutrition, we're going to talk about movement, we're going to talk about emotions, mind-body connection, about spirit, because it's all together. We are not just this physical, limited apparatus. We are actually an energy being. So self-care is about nurturing this energy being so the energy can come in and we can also give out.
Yes. Can't wait to have you all join us. We'll be diving deeper into all of these different concepts during that hour. And if you're not able to make it with us live, we'll be recording. And if you register, you'll get that recording.
Yes. And if you know any other women that want to join in, we love, I believe, Melissa, both, especially you, Melissa, you're really good at doing partnerships. And I'm learning. It's kind of like we love partnering with people. I've always been in the world of coaching, a proponent of let's get into this conversation together. This is not a one-way street. This is a two-way street.
Yes, yes, yes. We are growing a community here. So encourage you, anyone who's listening to this, if there's anything that comes up that you have a question about or you want to hear more, put it in the comments, please. And then join us in that hour where we can all more openly have that conversation and that deep dive.
November 17 next week on Wednesday, 11 o'clock. You have to register at Yes to My Life Academy / breast care is self-care. Hopefully we'll see you next week.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye. Have a good week.